All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're looking at an absolute classic today, a win-or-go-home knockout match that literally had fans glued to the edge of their seats. We're talking about the massive stakes of that 2019 Women's World Cup thriller between two absolute heavyweights of the sport, France and Brazil. You know, when you've got two nations with this much footballing pedigree clashing on the world stage, the margins for error are just microscopic. Every single touch of the ball carries the weight of a nation. So let's get right into how this incredible drama unfolded. I love this line from the commentary. All roads lead to Paris. It just perfectly captures the atmosphere, the suffocating pressure, and the ultimate prize waiting for the winner of this grueling contest. For the hosts, France, getting to those quarterfinals in Paris was the absolute dream. And for Brazil, well, it was their chance to play spoiler and cement their own legacy. That one phrase really is the driving force behind the sheer physical and emotional exertion we're about to look at. To get a handle on the crazy momentum shifts, let's just quickly look at the timeline of the match. We've got an early disallowed goal in the first half, Govin's big breakthrough in the second, followed up by Thaïs's late equalizer, and then, of course, the captain's clutch winner in extra time.
Act 1. The tense opening clashes.
So those first 45 minutes, an absolute masterclass in tactical tension. Both teams were just aggressively testing each other's lines, looking for any tiny crack. You could seriously feel the anxiety hovering right below the boiling point. France set up this formidable defensive core to absorb Brazil's early threats. We're talking about a long back four essentially babysitting the defense, anchored by the towering presence of Wendy Renard. Ahead of her, you had players like Bussalia and Henry providing crucial support. This whole setup was specifically designed to neutralize Brazil's dynamic pace, all while letting players like Diani provide attacking width on the right-hand side. It was a very calculated, solid foundation. But man, the end of that first half was total chaos. Brazil's offensive spark finally catches in the 43rd minute when Cristiane's header is beaten away by the French keeper, Buhadi, literally their first shot on target. And right on the flip side of that, France suffers absolute heartbreak. Gavin makes this incredibly brave run, collides with the Brazilian keeper, Barbara, and the ball goes in. The stadium is going wild, whistles are echoing everywhere, but the ref chalks it off for a foul on the keeper. 0-0 at the half, but the tension is just off the charts. Act 2. Trading blows. Moving into the second half, that scoreless deadlock finally shatters. The cautious tactical probing goes totally out the window, and the real heavyweight fight begins. After a fantastic run down the wing where she wraps around the back of the defense, Diani delivers an absolutely perfect cross into the box. This time, Gavin is right there, and this time, there is no foul. She expertly finishes the chance. France officially takes a 1-0 lead, giving the home fans a goal that actually stands. The hope of reaching the last 8 is suddenly very, very real. But Brazil wasn't about to back down for a single second. The moment they went behind, they just cranked up the pressure. The legendary Marta starts driving the attack forward with serious purpose. Just moments later, off a brilliant free kick delivery from Marta, Christiane hammers a terrifying header smack off the crossbar. Brazil is just swarming them, mounting relentless pressure and forcing the French defense to desperately scramble to clear their lines. You could just feel a Brazilian equalizer coming. And then it happens. Or well, we thought it did. The ball drops to Thaïs in the backs, and she finds the back of the net. The stadium holds its collective breath, though, because the offside flag shoots up almost instantly. The ref chops off the goal. It's just sheer emotional whiplash. The Brazilian players are looking around, celebrations are totally muted, and it looks like France has somehow survived by the skin of their teeth. But hold on, because technology completely flips the script here. Let's break down this VAR review. Step 1. The goal is scored, but flagged offside. Step 2. The video review takes a microscopic look and reveals that the Brazilian player in an offside position, Christine, wasn't actually interfering with the play at all. And even crazier, a clumsy challenge had left a French defender lying down inside her own penalty area, which technically played everyone onside. Step 3. The decision is overturned. The goal stands. Boom, we are tied at 1-1. These two massive refereeing moments just perfectly balance the scales of this chaotic match. France's early joy gets erased by a foul, while Brazil is rescued from total disappointment by the VAR overturn. It really goes to show just how razor-thin the margins of victory are in tournament football. I mean, one whistle, one camera angle, and the entire fate of a nation shifts in an instant. Act 3. Extra time drama. So, with the score locked at 1-1, regular time expires, and we enter the most physically and emotionally exhausting phase of the sport. Players have been running for over 90 minutes, tackles are getting heavier, and every single sprint requires digging so deep into the reserves. That number 15 on the screen? It's significant. For only the 15th time in the entire history of Women's World Cup finals, a match requires the grueling, unforgiving test of extra time. It just highlights how incredibly evenly matched these two squads were and how far they were willing to go to keep their World Cup dreams alive. And right in the thick of this extra time, Brazil comes so close to stealing the whole thing. The speedy Debinha manages to slip the ball right past the French goalkeeper, and it looks like a guaranteed goal. But then, the ultimate rescue. France is saved by this heroic, right place at the right time goal line clearance by their big number 19 from Lyon. The crowd roared for that clearance almost as loud as they would for an actual goal. Just a massive, game-saving intervention. The captain secures victory. With legs feeling like lead and penalties looming over everyone's heads, a single set piece decides the fate of both powerhouse nations. Following a crucial, maybe slightly cynical foul by Brazil, France gets a free kick deep in Brazilian territory. Majri steps up, whips in this beautiful, deep delivery, and who is there to meet it? None other than the French captain herself, Amandine Henry. She arrives at the exact right moment and just stabs the ball into the net. Firecrackers ignite inside this stadium. I absolutely love that quote. The explosive stadium reaction captured by the broadcast tells you everything you need to know about the sheer magnitude of Henry's goal. It was huge. The release of tension, the pure joy from the home crowd, it was literally deafening. The captain stepped up exactly when her country needed her the most. Brazil still wouldn't quit, though. In those dying moments, France had to survive some truly desperate, chaotic late attempts from the South Americans. Finally, after a totally frantic scramble, French keeper Buhati securely claims that final ball. The guy waving the flag in the stands can finally exhale. The final whistle blows, France punches their ticket to the quarterfinals, surviving their absolute toughest test to date. Looking back at this wild 120-minute thriller, it leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. We saw disallowed goals, those agonizing waits, and overturned calls that completely reshaped the match. So, with razor-thin margins deciding these massive knockout games, how much does VAR ultimately change the psychological momentum for the players on the pitch? Like, does the pause in celebration drain their energy, or does a reversed call ignite a totally new fire? It's definitely something to think about the next time you're watching a high-stakes match. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep asking those big questions.